It's the start of a blessed week. It's also 10:30 in the morning here in the UK, so it's the start of a blessed day, inshallah, for you and your loved ones. I'm Ali Fadhil, and you're watching Morning Baraka. Now, it's been a few days since we last met, and a lot can happen in 2 days, especially with the ongoing injustices in the Middle East. So I wanted to spare a thought for all the innocent lives, specifically the women and children in the ongoing conflict in Palestine. As much as that issue is deserved to talk about again and again, and rightly so, there are also some other important topics to discuss. So here's what we have on today's show. We go behind the scenes at IHTV3 today as we discuss all things tech with the director of technology at the channel, Amir Reza, aka Severix. We give you a roundup of what happened on this day in history, and I'll explain who this particular man is on the hour. And rounding up the show with your morning Islamic routines or your rituals, it doesn't matter, it's all very, very important, and that is later on in the show today. So there you have it. This is what we've got on the menu for today. Lots to look forward to, so stay tuned on Morning Baraka. Now, as always, we kickstart today's program with the dua specific to Monday. I say that because Imam Sajjad alayhi salam literally has a dua for every occasion, event, feeling, emotion, day, month, you name it. The Imam has amazingly put together specific words for us to converse with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, in history, we've seen tyrants come and go, and the constant that has always remained is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From the time of the Pharaoh, for example, to the oppressors of the Ahlul Bayt, up until today, tyrants came in many forms, and the ones out there today spreading hate, division, injustice, and committing crimes in broad daylight. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will always be the ever-powerful and all-knowing. In the dua for Monday, you'll come to find a sentence that says, intellects fail before the core of knowing Him, and tyrants fall low in awe of Him. Up next is a dua of Monday given to us by Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. We'll see you very, very soon.
Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. الحمد لله الذي لم يشهد أحدا حين فطر السماوات والأرض ولا اتخذ معينا حين برأ النسمات لم يشارك في الإلهية ولم يظاهر في الوحدانية كلت الألسن عن غاية صفته والعقول عن كنه معرفته وتواضعت الجبابرة لهيبته وعنت الوجوه لخشيته وانقاد كل عظيم لعظمته فلك الحمد متواترا متسقا ومتواليا مستوسقا وصلواته على رسوله أبدا وسلامه دائما سرمدا اللهم اجعل أول يومي هذا صلاحا وأوسطه فلاحا وآخره نجاحا وأعوذ بك من يوم أوله فزاع وأوسطه جزاء وآخره وجاء اللهم إني أستغفرك لكل نذر نذرته وكل وعد وعدته وكل عهد عاهدته ثم لم أف به. وأسألك في مظالم عبادك عندي فأيما عبد من عبيدك أو أمة من إمائك كانت له قبلي مظلمة ظلمتها إياه في نفسه أو في عرضه أو في ماله أو في أهله وولده أو غيبة اغتبته بها أو تحامل عليه بميل أو هوى أو أنفة أو حمية أو رياء أو عصبية غائبا كان أو شاهدا وحيا كان أو ميتا فقصرت يدي وضاق وسعي عن ردها إلي والتحلل منه. فأسألك يا من يملك الحاجات وهي مستجيبة لمشيته ومسرعة إلى إرادته أن تصلي على محمد وآل محمد وأن ترضيه عني بما شئت وتهب لي من عندك رحمة إنه لا تنقصك المغفرة ولا تضرك الموهبة يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أولني في كل يوم 2 نعمتين منك 2 سعادة في أوله بطاعتك ونعمة في آخره بمغفرتك يا من هو الإله ولا يغفر الذنوب سواه.
I don't want it. Welcome back, dear viewers of Imam Hussein TV3. You're watching Morning Baraka with myself, Ali Fadhil. If you've just joined us, you've missed the dua for Monday. Monday is the start of the week here in the UK, in the Gregorian calendar. Of course, the start of a week in the Islamic calendar is a Sunday. That's why they call it Yawm al-Ahad, which is the first day, essentially, or the one. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. Here at Imam Hussein TV, there are many divisions working tirelessly to give you pristine content for you to connect to the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. A gateway to Karbala, a ticket to the Ark of Salvation. But little is known of what exactly happens behind the scenes. What is absolutely clear, however, and something you all should know, is that the channel is severely understaffed because of how much it costs to run a channel, especially a channel like Imam Hussein TV with such a great responsibility to provide regular and high quality content for its viewers. One of those staff members who does quite a lot here at the channel, who's been here essentially from the start and pretty much does 7 or 8 different roles in one, maybe even more, is Amir Rizza, aka Severix. So Amir Rizza, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
You've been coughing for the last 30 seconds.
I'm sorry, I'm very, very ill.
I'm
I'm
really sorry to put you on the spot like this. However, today I'm going behind the scenes at the channel. And of course, you know, you've been here for quite a while. Excuse me, quite a while. And I wanted to, I guess, first and foremost, find out a bit more about your role or roles at the channel.
So my main role is I'm head of broadcasting and IT.
All right, what does that mean?
So anything to do with IT, you know, computers, technology, anything that essentially has electricity running through it, I'm somehow in charge of running it. That's the best way to wrap.
I remember from my early days in school, information technology,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's expanding to, you know, developing computers, back-end servers, and all of that fancy stuff. Even camera maintenance and stuff, I somehow have a hand into that as well.
Yeah.
And then broadcasting is, you know, sending from what you see now, from my face to the camera, to the computer, to the mixer, to whatever, to what you see on your TV.
Okay. And you obviously don't just do one role here. So
No.
what else does
Yeah.
that extend to?
So like I said, anything running electricity through it, I manage and maintain. If something breaks, if the light is broken or the camera breaks, I try and jump in to fix it.
Right.
In addition to that, if you see some of our other productions, I sometimes, if there's no one, I have to go behind the camera.
Okay.
If there's no one behind the sound, I have to behind my sound. And just like my colleagues as well,
Yeah.
we are, we jump around to where we're needed.
Okay. So if you were to, we've had this discussion before, and I was very interested to realize the scope of how much you guys do behind the scenes. If you were to equate your role or what you're supposed to be doing in a mainstream channel that's got millions and millions and millions of pounds of budget, right? What would you be doing only?
Only. With my current job title / role, it's just supervising the people that do all the other jobs.
Oh, wow.
So, manage and maintain the people, make sure they stick to the deadlines, the KPIs, to make sure everything is running smoothly.
Right.
So not only do I have to keep everything running smoothly, I'm physically doing it, not just, overseeing the people doing it.
Yeah. So how long have you had an interest in information technology? And anything that has electricity running through it?
As young as I can remember. I don't know. Like,
really?
I just somehow loved IT from growing up.
Yeah.
Like
were you those kind of kids that just takes little appliances and unlocks?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, is it? Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Tell us.
Like I remember when I was a kid, I was a troublemaker. I used to break everything.
Yeah.
So I used to put stuff in the VCR, like the VCR socket. I just put the crayons and
VCR is for those they're not millennials. For those
Gen Zs,
is a
cassette
video player. I don't even know if you guys know what cassette means.
It's a cassette video player.
Yeah.
It's those old-fashioned square boxes where it had the two spinning things and the little magnetic tape. You put it in and it rewinds. It's very. I still got my Tom and Jerry's from back in the day where I used to watch it.
I've still got the Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
Same.
It's
amazing.
VHS.
But
anyway.
I used to break stuff like that as a kid, and then when I would break it, my dad would sit me down, obviously tell me off, and he would tell me to open it and fix it.
Okay.
So with things like that.
So he pushed you to it then?
Yeah, he pushed me.
Right.
So whatever I would break, he would tell me to fix. So he always did that.
How did you know where to start?
I don't know. I just
trial and error.
Just trial and error. So you have to break things before you can fix them.
Yeah.
That's how I've learned. That's how I've learned. Like for example, if I want to fix something, I just open it up and reverse. I try and reverse. I've learned that now to reverse engineer the things I do in my mind. So when I open things up, when anyone comes with me with a problem, I reverse engineer it, whether it's tech based or not. And I've learned whether it's computer, laptop. I used to break a lot of stuff. I broke a laptop screen once.
Really?
My dad's like, find the replacement. I opened it up. I'm like, okay, what's this number? Let me search the number on Google or the internet or on eBay. I found them like, it's you can buy the whole screen. I bought the screen and replaced it. And that's how I learned all my stuff.
Right.
Because just through trial and error and learning what it is to open stuff.
And the name Severix, how did that start?
So back in a decade ago now, around 2012, 2013, obviously YouTube was just on the starting trend. There was not many YouTubers or people just started doing YouTube. And it was a very taboo area. And I'm like, I want to be a YouTuber too.
Okay.
And if you search that name up, you'll find it on YouTube. If you search on Google, you'll find all my handles, all my gaming stuff, everything. So when I was young, I used to play a lot of games. And which what got me into media. I used to record my games. I used to get a camera, all of these gaming YouTubers you see now. I was doing it with them back in the day.
Yeah.
And a lot of these big gamers now, I used to play with them back in the day every so often. And, I like the media side of things, so that's why I stuck to it.
And so what did you use Severix for?
It just became my brand and my persona.
Okay.
Even recently, up until last year, I used to do a podcast.
Okay.
And it was my persona on that show. So I used to be overly loud and charismatic. It's similar to my actual real life personality as well.
So coming back to the channel then, and I guess your role with the channel, I've seen you work behind the scenes, and you're obviously an expert in your field, which is fantastic to see, and it's what's needed for the channel. If you had, using your vision and your imagery, if you had the capabilities to bring to the channel or enhance the channel, what would you add that will make a difference to the viewer at home?
Funny enough, the easy answer is money.
Okay.
Because, what
would money buy for you?
That's the thing, it would buy us. Okay, so I'll give you an example, right? I bought some things on set. So right now, I've got this little controller.
Yeah.
It's got a sticker on it and whatnot, but it's a normal gaming controller. You lot will think nothing of apart from to play games on it. But we use this for a lot of things. Sorry. We use this for a lot of things. And also, if the camera can go to the wide shot, you see Mulla Ali's got something by his feet.
I do.
This is what we do on a budget.
You're revealing my secrets, man. Okay, go on.
This is what we do on a budget, right? Because our budget's constrained, we're restricted to buying, these little gaming toys and these very cheap-ass foot pedals because, for example, we use like a teleprompter on set.
Okay.
Whether it's for news, to read off a script, it's needed. And the official setup costs thousands and thousands of pounds. Alhamdulillah, we've done it for less than a couple hundred because obviously we're on a budget.
So you have to try and find ways.
So everything, like this game controller is made to play games. You connect it
That is literally a game.
It's a Nintendo Switch game controller. You can connect it to your computer or your Nintendo Switch or your PlayStation and play games of it.
Show it to the viewers again.
It's literally, it's like it's basic.
An actual, this is, by the way, for the Gen Zs out here, that is a Nintendo game controller. So I don't know if you guys know, I don't even know why I'm explaining it.
Like, the way even I'm holding it, you play games on it, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
But I reprogrammed it to work with an iPad and various other random bits to control the teleprompter itself.
How'd you do that? How does that connect to?
That's what I'm saying. So it's crazy what you can do. Even this is not made for, computers. It's made for pianos. It's for a digital piano. I've reprogrammed it to work with a teleprompter, so you can think. Even little stuff around the office, even these light panels, these TVs, we've had to create them from scratch.
Am I living in a simulation here or something? So everything seems to be like either fake or created.
It's created. We're finding creative solutions that requires a budget. Even our broadcasting and even how we stream to your screens, it's on a budget. So we have to put our heads together, find creative solutions to solve these problems. Like here you are right now, how many times have you come to, I want to do this, I'm like, wait, slow down. We can't do that, we have to take a step back, see what we can do with the resources we have.
Right.
And that's where we have to be creative.
Right. So this creativity, and you have a passion to be creative, to fit within a budget, it's all part of a wider cause. Serving Imam Hussein alayhi salam, being at the channel, doing as much as you can to get the viewers at home closer to the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, which I believe everyone here at the channel has that same persona. But what's the importance of kind of good technology? Actually, first and foremost, how have you seen a development of technology in Islamic channels over the last 10 years since you've been quite prevalent as well? You can
look at social media, for example, right? We'll keep it quite basic. Social media, the fact that anyone can just grab a mic, clip it on, put a phone there and go live. Right? You yourself with you as a community, you can reach out to communities and create content for them to watch as an individual yourself, let alone a mass media organization. If you look at other Shia channels before, if you look at 10, 15 years ago, the aim was to get on satellite TV. No one was on satellite TV, and if a Shia organization gets there, it's big. Now it's how can we get to as many of you as possible? People using social media for that. People are creating their own apps. So Imam Hussein TV, mashallah, has his own app. You can download it now on the App Store.
Plug it.
Plug it, watch it. This is how you're watching Morning Baraka. You can watch it on the App Store, on the Google Play Store. Even if you have a smart TV at home, Samsung, Android, LG, any smart TV now. If you can download the YouTube app, you can download the Imam Hussein TV app.
Really?
On every smart platform we have. Because that's how we're trying to get to the viewers. And that's why you have to use technologies like that, especially the power of the internet is amazing.
Yeah. And
storing stuff on demand, social media, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, they're all on demand.
Right.
So you need to provide with the time on-demand content. Some TV channels haven't kept up with the content. All they do is just live broadcasts on TV, not realizing now majority of the population are on the go, so they need the content to come with them. Hence why we have the apps. Not many people now have a satellite dish at home or a box to plug their antenna. Everyone watches online. Even my grandparents still watch the traditional cultural content from their country online, on YouTube. They don't watch it on their satellite boxes anymore.
So even them, they've come of age in terms of
They've come up, exactly. So if the elder generation are catching up to us, we need to provide for them as well.
Right. So that's in terms of the software. What kind of hardware do you see in terms of the inventory here at the channel and think, do you know what we could do with, if we had the means to, we could enhance the hardware here?
Even our cameras, for example.
Yeah.
If you look at the cameras we've got, if you look at what they're doing, when you walk into a studio from the mainstream media, they have this massive big gizmo. The camera's bigger than my head.
And the guy's sitting down on a chair.
He's sitting on a chair and he's on this wheel and he gets driven around with a Oh, our cameras are basic, very small cameras you can buy off. Anyone can buy.
Wow.
So like you see, if you go look at big companies, they have one cable going to this massive car thing, which has a camera on top. The lens is like this big. Like you're surprised today. Or if you look on football, you see this guy's got a massive thing. Those are the mainstream. We're doing the exact same thing, but 10 times smaller in terms of the hardware itself.
And is that the vision that we can get it to that kind of stage?
We have to with the support of our dear viewers, with the support of the community, whether it's financial support or verbal support or just encouragement or just even praising or even shouting us out.
Right.
Say, guys, well done to the team. Support them. I can't, but you can with with your other means.
Right. So what would be kind of the importance of good technology for Islamic channels and specifically Imam Hussein TV? Why would it be beneficial for the viewers?
If you look at how just Majalis has grown over the years, the sound system helped everyone get you're a reciter, the sound system is important for people to get involved in the Majlis. And now because of technology, we can record your sound, we can advertise it to the people. MashaAllah, how many albums have you made? How many music have you made where people can listen to it? And the TV channel should try and push for more of that and try and support the people on their path to enlightenment, on their path to become better Muslims. And we need to provide that through whatever means we have, whether it's with our cameras, whether it's with our phones, whether it's with basic record, anything. And we need to see what's accessible to our viewers and provide it through there.
Right. So you, on a personal note now, I mean, leaving the channel to one side, do you have any aspirations, any visions to use your skills? Because the thing is, look, the way I'm thinking is like service for Imam Hussein is service for Imam Hussein. It's fantastic. It's beneficial for this life and the next. But sometimes you may look to the other side in terms of the mainstream media channels. I'm pretty sure you'd be able to get in there because you've got years of experience and your technology know-how is fantastic. Do you ever look to that side and think, do you know what, I could pit myself against the mainstream guys who are the experts and think I could do what they do?
100%. I was having that conversation yesterday with my partner, and it was like I could take them on, and I could if I, wanna, I don't think I can ever do it because I don't think I can ever leave serving Ahlul Bayt. I don't think I ever can. But I know if I were to take them on, and especially the creative solutions I talked about to find stuff on a budget, that applying it there, they will think as next level.
Really?
I've worked with 1 or 2 mainstream people before, on the occasional off jobs where I had some time off. I'm like, I'm gonna go work there for a bit and see what I can apply myself in their fields, so to speak, in their league of fields. And I realized my creative background and my creative solutions would work missions there. And these people, we have a problem, let's just throw money at it, and they would just buy something to replace it.
Right.
For example, this camera is broken. They'll be like, let's just buy a whole new camera with all its accessories instead of just maybe turning it off and on and cleaning it up a bit. And you'll be surprised how many people don't think of these creative solutions. And
turning it off and on. I know this works for me a couple of times in certain appliances that I have.
You'd be surprised. Someone's like, my computer's not working. And therefore, okay, we need to build a new computer from scratch. I'm like, no, just
turn it off and on.
No, it's the little things that people don't actually investigate into. And that's what the problem with mainstream media is. They just throw money at the problem.
Right. So do you think, for you on a more personal note, God, I had the question in my head and it was a really good question, but my mind's gone absolutely blank.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, I don't know why. But anyway, I was going to ask the question before I had this amazing question in my head. It's probably going to come to me, this amazing question in my head. But before that, I was going to say, do you think it's you on a personal level? I still didn't think of the question, that was an amazing question, but I'm just saying because I remembered what the one before that was. And I'm now really losing it. Okay. I was saying, do you think on a personal level, here
Bismillah, ya Allah.
It came. How do we get youngsters involved in technology? Because youngsters maybe don't see it as attractive enough. And it's often, actually, on a taboo perspective, it's often seen as, if you're into technology, if you're into computers and stuff, you're seen as a nerd. Yeah. Right, especially when you're young.
I'm proud. I'm proud.
With all, look,
I'm proud.
I totally salute you and thank the Lord that you were a nerd when you were younger because the channel, wouldn't survive without you. So the point is that a lot of children don't want to get into this world because they feel like they might be bullied or harassed or whatever. And it is a taboo subject because a lot of our parents don't want our youngsters to get into technology because they may feel like there's no future or there's no, how they think that, I don't know, but there's no money in it, for example, whatever it may be, right? So how do you get kids more involved and how do you make it more attractive for them?
So first of all, remove the stigmas. right? There's nothing wrong with technology and being a nerd or a geek or all of that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And you have to maybe tailor it for each individual. If you want to attract people into it, for example, if you like football as a kid, how do you attract someone who likes football into technology? Is bring technology into football. You've seen fitness trackers, you've seen these footballs that have chips inside that tells you the power of the ball, the speed of the ball. You can wear shoes that will tell you how fast you run, what's your heart rate. So you have to integrate it with that. And in every single field, technology is there whether you like it or not. So whether it's even traditional, like maths and accounting and doctors and all the scientific technology is all there. So you have to bring the technology is everywhere. So you have to bring the technology to them, not bring them to technology. And encourage positive reinforcement. Like when I broke something, when I broke a piece of technology, my father would encourage me, would be like, look, you broke it, now fix it. Figure out what's wrong. And he would taught me the basic premise of problem solving, which got me into technology and which can be applied anywhere else as well. So you do the same thing for these young people, for the youth who maybe are trending away from it, bring it back in. With social media on the rise, technology is everywhere. I know someone who has no idea how tech works. I've given him this wireless microphone to use on his phone. He's figured out the ins and outs, how microphones works and radio frequencies, and he's learned that just through this random thing that he was doing for himself.
So was your father, may Allah bless his soul, just for the dear viewers as well who don't know, Mirza lost his father, how many years ago was it now?
Nearly 10 years ago now.
Nearly 10 years ago. And so may he rest in peace, inshallah, and be with the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. And I hope for the dear viewers to recite Fatiha for Mirza's father. His name was? Mahsan. So was your father ever interested in kind of engineering, IT, stuff like that?
I think in the traditional sense, yes. Obviously back then IT wasn't as strong, but he would be the man to fix everything. I know one time even when we were in Iraq and the water pump stopped working, he spent hours on that water pump, took it apart, fixed it.
So it doesn't come from a vacuum. This came from like a bloodline. Like your father was very much interested in this world as well.
Yeah, because the stuff that like
problem solving, maybe not the actual
tech. Yeah, well, it's problem solving. It's the intuition. Like, okay, if this doesn't work, don't just sit back like, it doesn't work. Be intuitive, get involved, see what you can do to rectify that issue.
Right. What's your favorite piece of tech that you've ever worked with?
It's a lot. There's a lot I've worked with, and it's the small things that I like. Yeah. And it's probably my smart home.
Your smart home?
My smart home.
Okay, I've heard about this before. Tell me about.
I have just a basic, Google speaker at home, right? Yeah. And I'm like, hey, assistant, do this for me. And
hold on one second. This Google speaker, I have an Alexa. Does that work?
Same. All of the speakers are the same. I try to stay in the same ecosystem, because.
Okay, now you're losing me. What's an ecosystem?
Okay, so ecosystem is where all the brands together. You know how, like, for example, this brand only works with this certain XYZ brand. Okay. I'm not going to mention all the brands because there's so many. Yeah. But for example, ALEXA, I'm not going to say it because it will activate yours at home. That's why I don't say it. That's why I say, hey, assistant. Be careful, by the way. Yeah. It happens.
So if I was to say, hey, Alexa.
Everyone's just activated. Ask a request.
No.
Yeah.
No, it has to be, isn't it voice recognition?
No, that's your phone. It activates.
Yeah.
Even like, for example.
Alexa. Play dua. Okay.
Yeah, so like, for example, even when I go on TikTok and it says, hey, assistant, my assistant activates. But moving back, I have, alhamdulillah, smart lights, and obviously I don't buy the expensive stuff. I created my own solution because obviously cost efficiency.
Tell me more about the solution, please.
I get home, as soon as I walk into the door, I've got geolocation. As soon as it knows I walked into my house, it turns on the heating, it, leaves the blinds open, turns off any unnecessary lights, maybe turns on the lights in the passage I want to walk through. And all of these little things make a massive convenience to my life. Yeah. And like, even when I want to go sit at my desk, I'll be like, okay, assistant, turn on my desk. It will turn on the lighting around it, my monitors, the computer turns on. And if I want to, obviously I used to stream. If I want to stream, I'd say turn on stream. And all my streaming accessories turn on, my camera, my studio lighting I have around my desk. And these little things. And it's a big comfort in your life.
I'm mind blown right now. Okay, we need to sit down and actually walk me through how this. So you walk into the house and you say,
I don't say anything.
You don't say anything. It turns on the heating.
Yeah. Like if I walk away from my house, it turns off everything. You can even set up certain rules where if you're a quarter mile away from your house, it triggers the heating to turn on so it's warm when you get home. Or you can set up certain things, and it's like very, very smart. Even little things, like you can set up minor instructions as good morning. Hey, assistant, good morning. It'll say good morning, whatever nickname you give it. Mine is boss. So good morning, boss. Here's your, and it's linked to all my calendars. So it's like, good morning, boss. On your calendar today, you have an interview with Morning Baraka, Salah at this time, this at this time, an appointment in the evening. Don't forget that. Today's temperature, and it tells me everything I need to start my day. By doing that as well, it also opens my curtains, turns on my lights, and it's got all of these different things. And
So
even,
does this cost a lot? Because technology, everyone feels like technology is always going to cost, especially if it's like all this latest brilliant technology, it's going to cost a lot of money.
if you're intuitive, it won't cost anything.
Tell me.
Okay, if you're intuitive, it won't cost anything because you could buy the name brand and get the name brand RGB panels, right? These triangle ones, they cost a lot.
Yeah.
Each panel costs like 30 quid.
Okay.
Or you can make your stuff like this. You buy the LED strip cheap of AliExpress, buy the controller slightly cheaper, but it links to the same device, and it works. I redid all my lighting in my house. Instead of using the light switch, it uses my voice. And it connects both with the light switch and my voice. And it works across whether I've got Siri, whether I've got Google, whether I've got Amazon, Alexa, or all of that stuff. It works across all three of them.
Okay.
So there's a mix and match as well.
So Amirza Solutions, what's your number, what's your rate? Because I want you to come into my house and totally redevelop the whole thing. We'll talk about that.
But the best way to do it is over time. So I bought my first Google device
over time.
The thing is, in terms of cost efficiency, don't go. If you do all at once, and you want to go all in, it's going to cost you a lot. But over time, I just want to control my bedroom light for now. Because I'm in bed, I'm comfortable, and I leave the light on. Google turn it off. Or heating.
Heating. I need to sort this out. Because for the viewers at home, London was about 23 degrees as of 3 days ago. And all of a sudden it's like 5 or 6.
It's freezing.
Or
I've got a cold already.
Yeah, it's
freezing.
Heating, how does that work?
You just connect to your smart device. You get into your boiler, you plug in the right necessary wires. You replace your thermostat. It's a smart thermostat. So instead of having the traditional analog one, it's a little screen with a dial.
Yeah.
You can see the temperature. You can set it to automatic time zoning, where if it sees the weather outside, connects to local data, and then adjust your heating in your house to that. You can adjust not just your boiler for your radiators, but even your tap water. Yeah. If you want to adjust that, maybe a bit hotter or colder. Yeah. You can set up multiple zones, be like just warm up the bedroom and nothing else. Yeah. You can change anything about it. And it's best, like for example, we were getting to bed last night and I was freezing.
Yeah.
I'm okay, assistant, turn on my heating. I'm freezing. And then I said...
You just literally went, assistant, turn on the heating?
Literally, I'm in bed with my blanket like a human burrito, freezing. And I'm like, assistant, turn on the heating. And then I'm like, okay, I want to be asleep.
Can you tell it, assistant, turn on the heating for an hour?
Yeah. So I was about to get there. I was going to be like, then I'm like, okay, assistant, turn it off in 2 hours.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. Or I can say, set the temperature to 22 degrees, 23 degrees, and then it will turn off automatically when it hits the temperature.
That's brilliant stuff, man, honestly. Yeah. Do you know what? It just creates a better quality of life on such a smallish budget, but it creates a better quality of life.
Not just that, it makes it cost efficient. You may spend 100, 200 pounds creating the infrastructure to, have smart heating. Yeah. But then you realize when you're out, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I left the heating on. Turn it off from your phone. You know what you're doing. You know what you're consuming. I have a smart home and I have a smart meter, so I know how much I'm consuming. By turning off, I'm saving a lot. By saying, okay, assistant, turn off all my lights. Like when I leave the house, I just say, okay, assistant, turn off everything. Just everything shut down because I'm not at home.
What about the fridge?
Well, they won't turn off the fridge.
I don't know. You're just saying turn off everything.
Turn off everything that I made smart. Right? So, you can set up categories and stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to smart my fridge because that's got one job. Cold, keep my stuff cold. So that's fine. But everything else, I keep it, But security is important as well. I've got a smart doorbell. When someone's at my door, I'm aware. And
that's Ring, right?
Yeah, no, I use Google because
Come on, man! I've got Ring, and I feel like quite technologically advanced. Like I can see who's in front of my front door, right?
Yeah, but then when my doorbell rings, my Google Home shows the camera, says someone's at the front door, and then you can.
I can do that with Alexa. What?
If I've set up faces, so if my mum rings the bell, I'll say your mum's at the door.
Okay, no, that's a bit smart. I'm not gonna lie, that's a bit sick.
If it recognizes faces, if a delivery driver comes, like there's a package at your door. If it's an animal walking past,
I'm so excited, and I feel like a little kid in what's that?
Candy store.
In a candy store. Okay, we need to speak off air.
Inshallah.
Amirza, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Thank you very much for coming on to the show. And inshallah, we will see you in a couple of minutes when you're at work.
Inshallah.
So that was Amir Riza, aka Sevrix, the head of IT and broadcasting at Imam Hussein TV 3. After the break, inshallah, we're going to be essentially talking about on this day. So we'll see you inshallah in a couple of minutes.
Jiddu, I need to tell you a secret. I had an exam today and I cheated on the exam, and to be honest, I feel like it's eating me up inside as if it's haram.
Your father used to do the exact something and would always get in trouble. But you have done it now and cannot go back. I don't know if it is haram. Khair inshallah.
Thanks, Jiddu. Jiddu, I wanted to ask if it's halal to buy lottery tickets. They're so cheap and we could make a lot of money.
I don't know if it is halal or haram, but never think about something like that again.
Okay, I was just asking. Jiddu,
تعبتني. What do you want now?
I just wanted to ask if the sweet has beef gelatin is it halal or haram?
You're supposed to check it before buying it, not after. I don't know if this is halal or haram.
Okay.
What now? I am trying to relax. Why do you keep asking me? تعال هنا الخاطر الله. Just go watch Ahkam SOS. Any question you have, they can answer you. You can call them, message them, anything. Ask as much as you like. They can answer any question from any marja, okay?
God bless Haji Abu Amir, who went through a lot of difficulty to do that advert because his native language is Arabic. So you saw when he was speaking English, it's quite difficult, but the moment he switched to Arabic, it was the most natural thing that came to him. Which for us in Iraqi is quite funny to hear. Essentially, Hajj Abu Amir that was, and that was Ahkam SOS. So please do stay tuned for Ahkam SOS on Imam Hussein TV 3 tonight, inshallah. Now, last week on Friday, I took 2 minutes to reflect and discuss the pressing and emotional situation of the victims of war, specifically in Palestine. And we constantly pray the innocent and reprieved, inshallah, and given some sort of respite for their dire, critical, and desperate situation. Yet, Imam Hussein TV is a platform to highlight and bring awareness to atrocities wherever they may be. Now, since August 2021, a minority group in a country in Asia, I won't mention who yet, but this minority group has endured 13 or more attacks. That's 13 or more suicide bombs, opening fire at victims during prayer times in a mosque, identifying and killing mothers and expected mothers, yes, pregnant women, in hospitals. Brothers and sisters, that's approximately almost an attack every 3.5 months, which, let's face it, has been severely ignored. The people in question are the Shia Hazaras of Pakistan and Afghanistan. Hazaras have faced systematic discrimination and violence for generations. We're talking 100 years plus. And they've been resilient in their struggle for basic rights and equality. I kid you not, guys. Do you know what their sole crime is? The Hazaras is literally because they are Shia. They are Shia, 12 Shia Muslims. The Islamic State has openly admitted and claimed responsibility for the majority, if not all, of the attacks. It's a long list of atrocities that have been claimed by the Islamic State, often carrying out these brutal attacks as the Hazara community go to school, to work, or to pray without a serious response from the Taliban authorities. Hear that again, brothers and sisters, dear viewers, carrying out brutal attacks as they go to school, work, or pray. I wanted to, I have a list of some of the incidents that have happened over the last couple of years. We're talking not even just a couple of years. I'm going to read off some of them and you can tell me how severe these are. I mean, the atrocities continue throughout the years with another huge massacre in 1998 in Mazhar al-Sharif. Taliban killed from 2,000 to 8,000 Hazaras. 2,000 to 8,000 Hazaras, I believe, in one incident. Attacks continue even if Taliban are not the ones in control of the country. 30th of September 2022, terrorist attack on Kaj Education Center. 53 students killed. 46 of them were female and more than 110 injured. 8th of May 2021, Sayyid al-Shuhada school bombing, specifically targeting Hazaras only for being Shia, killed were 90 plus. In 2011, 11 Hazara coal mine workers were stopped, chosen and killed for being Shia and Hazara. I'm telling you, literally the list goes on in terms of the atrocities that happened against them. Now, the question in my mind, in light of recent events in Palestine, is that the Muslim, and to a certain extent the Shia Muslim social media community, is very active, and rightly so, to the extent that anyone silent on the Palestinian issue, or the Palestinian issue, is seen as a supporter of the enemy. So why is there no coverage, outrage, public cries of condemnation, Twitter frenzies and the like concerning the Hazara Shia in Afghanistan? It's a thought, and I hope you consider it. Now moving on with the program, and we're here at on this day, the death of Sayyid Muhsin al-Tabatabai. Now, Sayyid Muhsin al-Tabatabai al-Hakim was a Shiite authority in the 20th century from Iraq who lived in Najaf. After the death of Ayatollah Burujurdi, he was considered a prominent Shiite authority. As part of his campaigns against communism in Iraq, he announced the prohibition of membership in the Communist Party, and in order to develop religious activities, he established Jama'at al-Ulama, the Association of Scholars in Najaf. When he was young, al-Hakim was the commander of some Iraqis during World War I, defending the Ottoman government. One of his significant enterprises was the establishment of several libraries around the world. His most important work in jurisprudence was Mustamsak al-Urwat al-Wuthqa, which has been a focus of attention of scholars in Shiite seminaries. The Ba'ath Party increased pressure on Ayatollah al-Hakim and tried to make him give up his struggles against the regime. During the last years of his life, he underwent house arrest in the Shiite seminary in Najaf, and Shiites in Iraq faced many hardships. Eventually, Sayyid Muhsin al-Tabatabai al-Hakim died of a disease in and around this day in 1970 in Baghdad at the age of 84. His corpse was taken from Baghdad to Karbala and from there to Najaf, and it was buried in a private grave that he had prepared for himself near his library. Some of Sayyid Muhsin al-Hakim's children were imprisoned and killed by the Ba'ath regime in Iraq. His most famous son was Sayyid Muhammad Baqir al-Hakim, who was martyred in approximately 1424-2003 in a terrorist attack in Najaf. That was on this day while we were remembering Sayyid Muhsin al-Hakim al-Tabatabai. So, and coming up, we round up some of the latest Islamic morning rituals that you, the dear audience, have provided for us.
Have a duty towards the preservation and the propagation of the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Indeed, one of the best ways to work towards the reappearance of Imam al-Mahdi ajjalallahu ta'ala farajul sharif is through promoting the values of Karbala. Imam Hussein Media Group is the only Shia television network that broadcasts globally in 5 different languages: Arabic, Farsi, Turkish, Urdu, and English. We are appealing to the lovers of Imam Hussein alayhi salam worldwide to support the channel such that it may continue its global operations. Imam Hussein Media Group is seeking 1,000 partners to pledge to a £14 contribution per month. This will allow the channel to sustain its operating costs as we continue to spread the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam in multiple languages across the globe. You be a part of this great legacy and donate today. You can pledge in 2 ways. www.imamhussein3.tv/donate will take you direct to our donation page where you can pledge monthly. Or you can call or WhatsApp us on 0044 793 9917163. Imam Hussein TV, your gateway to Karbala.
Islamic morning rituals. Welcome back, my dear friends. Wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you that used the hashtag and sent in your Islamic morning routines. Here are just some of the top ones that we've received over the last couple of days. One person said, honestly, nothing except Fajr. Another one says, Qiyam, Quran, morning prayer. One person who I posed the question to says, listen to the whole Higher album. Whilst I admire my spiritual rock collection. I'm not going to tell you who that was. Reciting short surahs, that's a very nice one. Praying for Imam Mahdi's reappearance and the freedom of the Palestinians, inshallah. Reading Dua Nudba and Ziyat Ashura post Fajr, that's a very good one. Wudu, Ziyara, Ashura, Dua Alqama, Hadith Kisa, and then IHTV. So I'm assuming this person works in the channel. So we'll repeat: Wudu, Ziyat Ashura, Dua Alqama, Hadith Kisa, and then IHTV. Many more coming in. For example, Fajr Dua, Istighfar, then lie down on the right side, later recite Ziyat Ashura. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but lie down on the right side and then recite Ziyat Ashura. Cool. This person says, we always put sadaqah in the pot before leaving the house and have Quran on when we wake. Just a quick mention of Imam Hussein Charity. Please do donate to their generous causes in Iraq specifically and many other different countries. Alhamdulillah alladhi ahyana ba'da mamatina wa ilayhi an-nushur. That one was in Arabic if you didn't guess. Pray, bit of a deep meditation, yoga. Blast Ziyat Ashura and star jumps shouting bulb. That's an interesting one. Dua al-Faraj, genuine gratitude for everything in my life. Ziyat Ashura on the morning commute. And then there's this one where it says listening to Hadith al-Kisa, Ziyat Ashura and Dua al-Ahad every day while commuting to work. Many thanks once again, dear brothers and sisters, for sending in your suggestions on how to improve your Morning Baraka. So do please use the hashtag Morning Baraka on any social media platform. We'll pick it up and compile it. So it's inshallah a list for you, the dear viewers, and then we'll hopefully read out the best ones later on in the show. One thing that I wanted to note as an end to this program is that in the dua of Monday, I did notice something else in the dua which was quite fantastic, and I wanted to end on this note. First and foremost, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to alleviate all the pain and suffering in the world, especially those in the Middle East, Palestine, Hazaras, whoever is facing any injustice in the world. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to alleviate their pain, give them patience to deal with the calamities that they are facing, and also to hasten the reappearance of our awaited Savior Imam al-Mahdi ajallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif, because he will come at a time where there is so much injustice. He will bring justice to the world, inshallah. And I end on this final note. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please make the beginning of this day of mine righteous, its middle prosperity, and its end success. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد إلهي عظم البلاء وبرح الخفاء وانكشف الغطاء وانقطع الرجاء وضاقت الأرض ومنعت السماء وأنت المستعان وإليك المشتكى وعليك المعول في الشدة والرخاء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد أولي الأمر الذين فرضت علينا طاعتهم وعرفتنا بذلك منزلتهم، ففرج عنا بحقهم فرجا عاجلا قريبا كلمح البصر أو هو أقرب. يا محمد يا علي يا علي يا محمد اكفياني فإنكما كافيان، وانصراني فإنكما ناصران. يا مولانا يا صاحب الزمان الغوث الغوث الغوث، أدركني 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 الساعة 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 العجل 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 يا أرحم الراحمين بحق محمد وآله الطاهرين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى حامل لواء الحسين أبا الفضل عباس ورحمة الله وبركاته. Join me every Wednesday exclusively from the holy city of Karbala on Imam Hussein TV 3 as we look at different narrations, hadiths from the Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdalus salati was salam, and derive lessons from their eloquent